Good morning and welcome to another conversation with Mose. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world and that you're one day closer to your dreams and prayers coming true. I decided to do something a little different today, and normally I would start out with a poem, but I decided to start out with a quote today, something I felt would be appropriate for today's subject matter. And the quote is from the book, The Miseducation of the Negro. And it's written by Carter G. Woodson. It's actually an excellent book, very enlightening for those who have not heard of this book. But again, it's called The Miseducation of the Negro, written by Carter G. Woodson. And here we go. Negro businessmen have made mistakes, and they are still making them. But the weak link in the chain is that they are not properly supported and do not always grow strong enough to pass through a crisis. The Negro businessman, then, has not failed so much as yet he has failed to get support of Negroes who should be mentally developed sufficiently to see the wisdom of supporting such enterprises. I want you to think about that for a moment. And again, I hope I was clear on that quote. It's the first time I actually read it. Well, reading it out loud. But it's about the subject matter for today. It's called People Who Grind. Specifically, black people who grind. Nothing against other people who have their aspirations and their goals. But I wanted to talk about something that was personal to me because I think there's a misunderstanding about people who want more for their lives, as myself, specifically in the black community. Whether you want more education, more money, a bigger house, a better vacation, a better life, I feel like there is a judgment and an envy and a guilt that sometimes goes with wanting more for your life. But this is not that podcast. This podcast is for the people that shouldn't feel guilty about it. You want more for your life. You want better for your kids. You shouldn't have to apologize for that. And I've kind of hinted on this before. But this particular podcast is about, again, people who grind. People that are willing to go through legal lengths, not to be confused with the people that are doing things illegally. That's a different conversation. But people that are willing to work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, sell, make stuff, whatever they need to do to get whatever it is they're trying to get. And I think, including social media, when you post things about your goals or when you sell something or when your dreams are actually unfolding, there's a guilt, I think, that goes along with being successful. And I'm learning that myself. You shouldn't feel guilty. I've always wanted more for my life, and I was always willing to do whatever I needed to do to get what I wanted, whether it was professional, personal. And I want to dispel a lot of myths about the kind of people that, oh, you're difficult or you're not easy to get along with, you're not approachable. With people that are grinding for whatever reason, they're just focused on their goals. It's not about, we're not into small conversations about nothing. Our jobs are just a means to support whatever it is we're doing. We're working because we have to work. And we need money to support what we're doing. Which gets me back to the quote is, I don't get black support. I mean, I do, but I don't get it the way I think I should get it. Again, I try to support my friends and family any way I can, whether it's posting or reposting or mentioning them in something, or I try to do what I can. It doesn't necessarily mean spending money. I don't always have the money, but when I do have it, I do like to support authors, musicians. I've always done it. And in it, whatever avenue I could, I've always shared it with my audience. And again, I think people are very different today. I feel like you have to get on TikTok and dance or make people laugh or do something sexual to get people's attention. And I did videos in my 20s. I did videos, informative videos, fun videos, dance videos. I did all that. And I may do it again, but I don't feel the need to do it now. And I was doing things before they became popular to do. But again, I'm not taking away from people to do it. It's just I feel like people don't want to work two jobs. They don't want to do the extra work it takes to become successful. And even though I don't get the support that I feel like I deserve from my people, quote unquote, it doesn't stop me. I get support, it's just not consistent. And even with family, I got to admit, it bothers me that I don't get the support from family like I would like. But maybe they are supporting me behind the scenes and I'm unaware of it. I don't know. But this is for that person that feels like, discouraged and sad and depressed. And I say keep going. Keep doing what you need to do for yourself. And don't feel bad about it. We're living in really turbulent times. Money is tight. The cost of living has gone up significantly. And it's really affected a lot of our businesses, including myself. And it's hard to maintain what you've established, and you're used to a certain amount of income and to being able to support your business. And sometimes it means doing the extra work. But the one thing I will say, I don't believe in working yourself to death. I believe you have to make time for your family and your friends and your loved ones. Because there was a time all I did was work. I was so focused on my career and what I was doing that I didn't stop to enjoy the grass and the roses you have to enjoy yourself, in between grinding. And I don't believe in working yourself into a frenzy. Again, I don't care what age you are. I think you have to rest. Take time to rest, regroup, recharge, get back into whatever you need to do. I believe in writing stuff down, trying to accomplish your goals. But also, if you don't get it all done, just do one thing that you need to do for that week or the two things. But don't beat yourself up if it doesn't all get done. And I don't have a personal assistant. I don't have a staff. I have to be everybody all the time. The photographer, the promoter, the social media person, the person that puts it all together, the secretary, I have to do all those hats. And some days it is hard. And hopefully in the near future, I'll be able to get an assistant and I won't have to do everything. And sometimes I'm exhausted, but I make sure I take time to rest because I want to keep my ideas fresh and personal. And the other thing is I want to inspire people. I really do. I love inspiring people. I love answering questions and if potential authors and people that I love sharing my knowledge. But I also want knowledge in return. And I don't mind helping people that want to help themselves. Because what I've stopped doing is wasting my time with people that it's not reciprocal. I've made the mistake of sharing information but not getting it back. I don't believe in just people using. I don't believe in using people, and I don't want people to use me for my knowledge, for my wisdom, for my gifts. I feel like it's tough out here and to not have to worry about being taken advantage of. And I honestly feel like through my life, that's the biggest regret that I have. I feel like I've let people that I thought were kind and had good intentions take advantage of me. And initially, I think I found out too late. We have our relationships, our romantic relationships, but I have a lot of regret about my personal career friendships, people that I developed a rapport with that I thought I had a chance to grow with that actually just used me to get ahead. And I don't want to believe that everybody's out there to get you. I don't want to sell that to anyone. But I say be careful as you grind, as you share your ideas. be mindful of who you're talking to and who you're sharing yourself with, your goals, your dreams, because people can really be treacherous. I mean, for lack of a better word. And that's the only thing I say about people that are grinding. Just be careful. You know, people will roll over their moms to get whatever that they trying to get. And that's never been me. I mean, I don't know what people's perception has been of me over the years, but I've never stepped over anyone to get ahead. Because if I did, I'd probably be a lot further along than I am now. But I've never, should I say, manipulated, or I've never wanted it that way. I mean, I still to this day would rather have success genuinely. I want to be chosen for what I bring. You know, I want people to like what I do. When somebody buys something from my store or if they listen to my podcast, they're choosing to do it. I didn't have to trick them or manipulate them, or, you know, anytime I sell something of mine, my books, it makes me feel good. And that feeling never goes away because I didn't have to do anything special other than be myself. And that makes a huge difference to me. The fact that people are willing to spend their hard-earned money on something I created, that feeling is immeasurable. And nobody can take it from me. I mean, no one. It's like working for yourself, that feeling of making your own money for your own business. No one can take that from you. You know, again, whether it's a painting or somebody buying your music, or it's a feeling you can't explain. Or I remember once somebody quoted one of my poems to me that they had read. I don't remember which book it was from, but the feeling that I got when somebody quotes something from that I wrote that made them feel some kind of way, that feeling is, and I know because there are poets and people that I like that have done that for me. You know, I've watched movies and I've heard lines that were like, I had to stop and just savor it, you know, savor those moments. And I'm just transitioning to another part of the conversation is about, I just wrote a screenplay that I'm very excited about and I'm very, very protective of. But it's something I feel very strongly about. It's a movie that I will fight to the death to make. You know, and I'm saying that out loud. It's just, I don't want to share too much about it because I'm really, really protective of it. But it's a movie I've never seen. And just remembering what Toni Morrison said about writing the book you want to read, that's how I feel about this movie. I feel like it's important. I feel like it's something that has never been spoken of in this way. And it's a black experience. It's a real black experience. It's my experience. And it's important to me. I mean, I've never felt so strongly about something in my life. I really haven't. And if it's one of the last things I do, I really would like to get this movie made. And I'm really, whether it's a big success, really is irrelevant to me. It's really the people that I want to see it. The lives that I feel like it'll touch. It's important to me. And that's why I grind, you know, and it's hard. Lord knows it's hard. The criticisms and the things that I endure. And then you add racism and you add all the day-to-day regular stuff that black people have to go through in the mix. Has made it difficult for me to maneuver sometimes. And I'm not going to lie. I've cussed, I scream, I cry, I get depressed, I get up, I get down. But I take each day as it comes. And I try to enjoy each moment. I make it my business to enjoy each moment. The little things that get me through the day. I try to find joy in everything that I do. And I listen. I try to be present. But I refuse to feel guilty about working hard. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, who's going to take care of me? Who's going to do the work? And I'm not rich. You know, I don't have a large bank account. I don't have all those amenities. And in 10 years, I'm supposed to be thinking about retiring. I mean, I'm 55 years old. When is it supposed to happen? So feeling guilty, you know, I have great relationships with my family members, and I feel like there's nothing that's gone unsaid, at least on my behalf. So all those people out there grinding, and as long as you're spending time, quality time with people that you care about, it actually keeps you focused on your grind to me. You know, it's nice having somebody to come home to, and it's nice to have great relationships, but because those people are the ones that really care about us. The people that are in your corner and telling you to get back in there and handle your business. And that's why I said don't take those people for granted. The people that are in your corner and that are supporting you wherever, however they can. I don't care if they're rubbing your feet because you're tired, or cooking you dinner or whatever it is. Appreciate those people, love those people, hug on those people, because it's hard, and it's really one of those things. Again, this podcast is for those people that are grinding. You want more for your life, and you don't have to explain it to people. You don't. If you want to go back to school, if you want to do those things you've been dying to do, do it. You only get one life that we're aware of, and you have to live your best life. That's just not a term. That's really a lifestyle. Live your best life now. And it's like, do what you feel is best for you. But also, the one thing I will say is know what makes you happy. I mean, my happiness is based on me. And we have to recognize that sometimes I'm trying to find the right words. I think we look for our happiness in people. Our families, our friends, our relationships. But we're truly the only people that can make us happy. And anybody else is just an addition to that happiness. I know what makes me happy. And I don't point the finger at anybody. I just don't. I don't believe in that. I think you have to decide that you're going to be happy. And you have to do what makes you happy. And I don't look at my friendships as chewing gum. And I've said this before. They're always sweet. You're going to have highs and lows with people that you care about, friends, relationships. But your relationship with yourself is really important. How you feel. What gets you up in the morning? What gets you motivated? What's your passion? You can't get that from anybody else. Your passion and what motivates you at the end of the day is something that has to be in you. You can't blame people for you didn't get up that day or you didn't do this. It's all about you. You got to get up and you got to keep it moving. Even on those days when you don't feel like it, it's like, oh man, I got to do this. But if I feel like this, if you can give 8 hours to a job, 40 hours a week, and you can't give that to yourself, oh no. I refuse to give all of my time to a company that could give a damn about me. I'm giving myself that time. I don't care if it's 3 hours, 2 hours. Whatever it is I want to do, I'm giving myself that time back. Maybe I can't give myself 8 hours, but believe me, if I'm making money for myself, I'm going to put the time in. Why am I making somebody else rich when I'm not giving myself that time? And I am going to get on my soapbox for those people. The shit ain't going to happen by itself. You got to get out there and do it. You got to do the work. And I don't believe in this, again, I'm not getting into the generational thing about as far as laziness. But if you want it, you'll do it. And it's like you got to put the work in. And the people that are successful are putting the work in. So I just wanted to kind of, really inspire people that, like I said, are grinding to keep grinding, keep doing what you're doing. Also, the holidays are coming up, and I wanted to talk about my store, All Things Moetic. Please stop by whenever you get a minute. It's, unique gifts. It is a black experience I think you'll enjoy. I try to have unique gifts for people that in your life that might be unique, that might appreciate what I'm bringing to the table. And if you get a chance to, like I said, stop by. I will be having some stuff on sale throughout the holiday. But again, stop on by. The other thing is my Black Experience exhibit is still going to happen. But this time I've postponed it to February. And I'm also trying to figure out a way to have you guys come virtually to the event. I haven't nailed that down yet, to where you can actually purchase something from my event or at least be there virtually. Again, I just can't do all things at one time. But if it doesn't happen with this first event, it'll definitely happen with the next one. But be on the lookout for the Black Experience exhibit in February. And I believe it'll be the beginning of many events similar to that in the future. But as always, I want to thank you for listening. And I just want to say this is probably going to be the last podcast for the season, at least until the first of the year, because I really want to focus on my store and my screenplay and many other projects I have going on right now. But again, I will be keeping you posted. And I may do a surprise podcast here and there, but we'll see. But I also want to say thank you for listening. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world, and that you're one day closer to your dreams and prayers coming true. Thank you for listening.